Baba Vanga is known as one of the most famous seers of the 20th century. Vanga, who lived in Bulgaria, is claimed to have mystical abilities, believed to be able to see the future despite being blind. Her prophecies are said to have foretold major events such as the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami and the 9/11 terrorist attacks. Vanga's predictions are often full of symbolic and ambiguous expressions, making them attributable to a wide variety of events. Her prophecies continue to arouse worldwide curiosity even today. The Sibylline books are texts that predicted the future and were considered sacred in ancient Rome. These books of prophecy were written by various female oracles called Sibyls. Consulted during the crises that Rome faced during the Republican period, they played an important role in the religious rituals of the state. Unfortunately, this valuable collection was destroyed in a fire in the capital in 83 BC. However, its impact on Roman history and religious practices has been felt for centuries. In the Middle Ages, witchcraft prophecies were associated with a dark and mystical atmosphere. During this period, prophecies were often made by women who were associated with supernatural powers and the ability to see the future. Witches were both feared and respected figures in society. Divinations were often made through tarot cards, animal viscera, or natural phenomena. During this period, the words of witches could sometimes influence political decisions and have a great impact on the public. However, witch hunts and trials were also common, and many innocent people lost their lives in the process. Witch prophecies represent one of the most striking and dark aspects of medieval Europe. Nostradamus was a 16th century French soothsayer believed to have predicted the future. His prophecies often include events such as wars, disasters, and the rise or fall of leaders. His most famous work, Les Prophéties, was published in 1555 and consists of 942 quatrains. These quatrains have been attributed to various events throughout history, but it is difficult to give precise interpretations due to their vagueness. Nostradamus's prophecies have been linked to many historical events, from the French Revolution to the rise of Hitler. However, these connections are often speculative and controversial in academic circles. The Mayan calendar is one of the most advanced time measurement systems of ancient Mesoamerica. It consists of several cycles, such as the long count and tzolk'in. The long count records the date in days, while tzolk'in is a 260-day ritual calendar. The Mayan calendar shows their mastery of astronomy and mathematics. They calculated the solar year and planetary movements with great accuracy. In 2012, the end of one cycle of the calendar led to end-of-the-world theories, but this only symbolizes the end of a cycle and a new beginning. For the Mayans, time is an ever-renewing cycle. Saint Malachy was an Irish bishop who lived in the 12th century. His work, known as the Prophecy of the Popes, contains a list of future popes and brief, symbolic descriptions of each. The prophecy mentions 112 popes, and each pope has a motto that symbolizes his pontificate. Malachy's prophecies were published in 1595 and have been the subject of much debate ever since. Some believe that the prophecies were actually written by Malachy, while others think it was a forgery. The prophecy uses the phrase "the last days of Rome" for the last pope, which some believe signals the end of the church and the end of the world. Native American prophecies are indigenous peoples' predictions about the future. These prophecies often emphasize the importance of living in harmony with nature and the need for societies to unite in the face of future challenges. For example, Hopi prophecies suggest that societies should respect nature and change their consumption habits in a sustainable way. The prophecies also point to spiritual awakening and the need for people to reach higher levels of consciousness. Joan of Arc is a heroine of medieval France, known for her divine visions and prophecies. At a young age, she believed she had received a divine mission to liberate France from English occupation. Jeanne fought bravely on the battlefield and won many victories, inspiring the French. However, she was eventually betrayed and captured, accused of witchcraft, and executed by burning. Joan of Arc's prophecies and heroism have a legendary place in French history and are still admired by many. Edgar Casey was an American mystic and medium known as the sleeping seer. He lived in the early 20th century and gave thousands of sleep state readings. During these readings, he gave information about health, reincarnation, the lost civilization of Atlantis, and future world events. Casey's prophecies include dramatic changes such as much of California being underwater and a new continent rising in the Atlantic Ocean. His prophecies, like those of Nostradamus and Baba Vanga, are still of interest and debate today. The oracles of Delphi were given by the Pythia, an oracle in ancient Greece who prophesied on behalf of Apollo. The temple at Delphi was a sacred place where people sought divine guidance. Pythia would sit over a pit filled with gases and, in a trance, utter words that predicted the future. These prophecies were shaped by the interpretations of advisors and were often ambiguous and polysemous. The oracles of Delphi were influential in many fields, from politics to war strategies.